What's going on, my beautiful YouTube family? Today we will be doing a review of this 2019 Fat Boy.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Let's go over a few specs before we take her out on the road. This unit has the Milwaukee 8 114 engine in it that's pushing out 119 foot-pounds of torque. The weight of the bike is 699 pounds in operating condition, and this is the industrial gray and black denim unit. And to be honest, I literally love the paint job on this bike because, as y'all know, I like matte colors and I like dark colors, and this one looks good. Let's take a look at the display. So the display has a few options that you can cycle through using this button here, which we'll go through. Right here, it's showing the time. It has an RPM gauge built in. It also has your miles. Those are your miles for your trip. It has a gas gauge on it. And I believe this one actually also tells you what gear you're in while you're riding. And we're gonna go ahead and take it on the road real quick, and I'll give you my thoughts of how the unit rides. So let's get her out there. So we're here at Independence Harley-Davidson on the Riding Academy range currently. All right, let's get the bike cranked up. And initially, even though the bike weighs 699 pounds, it feels like it's balanced pretty well. It's not actually that heavy, and it could have to do with the rear tire being so wide. So we're gonna take her out for a quick test spin and see my initial thoughts on how I think she rides. But if anyone's interested in actually learning to ride, as you can see, we have a full range here at Independence Harley-Davidson in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we do classes typically almost every weekend and some weekdays, which we teach new riders to learn to ride, as well as riders that have been riding for a while who just want some additional training or just want to get that MSF safety course under their belt to save on insurance. So what I'm gonna do first is test out the performance of the bike, see how she accelerates, and then I'll take her around a few corners. So this will be a short ride because she does not have a ton of gas in her, but let's open it up and see what she can do. Oh yeah, she definitely has a lot of acceleration. I could have kept accelerating, but I don't want to get too ridiculous out here, but it feels really good upon acceleration. There's no lag in power from when you twist the throttle to when it goes. And again, if any of you remember, this is the Terminator bike. The bike that Arnold Schwarzenegger was riding in Terminator. So I feel this is kind of an iconic bike myself, but I literally love the way the bike's riding. The seating position is comfortable, especially due to the fact that it has floorboards, so I can adjust my feet. For instance, if I was starting to get a cramp in my leg, I can stretch it out a little bit or bring it back a little more. And there's plenty of room on these floorboards. I'm moving my feet back and forth right now just to see how much room I can get on it. And there's plenty of room, plenty of adjustability there. That's one of the reasons I like floorboards on bikes, is because you get that option to move your feet around a little bit and get comfortable, especially if you're going on long rides. Now we're going to corner her up here, see how she handles in a turn. I'm pretty sure she'll handle perfectly fine due to that massive rear wheel. It should be really stable in a corner. Gonna slow it down a little bit. Turn right here. Oh yeah, it's really flickable. The bike turns perfectly fine in a corner. It actually feels like it wants to balance itself. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how the breakout rides, because of the rear wheel is so large, it kind of balances the bike for you almost. It's not a lot on my part to keep her balanced. And we can test that by doing a slow ride. See, I didn't even have to put my feet down and I'm still able to balance the bike. Every gear that I'm switching to lets the power out. It does not seem like the power decreases anywhere. Seems like it has good low end as well as top end power. And the bike feels really, really stable. Especially going into that corner right there. I actually love the way the bike rides. I like the way it looks. Of course, I love the color. It's my type of color. The only thing I would do different on here is probably black out the exhaust or something like that. But I myself am not a huge fan of chrome. You have some people who love chrome and you have some people who love that matte, that black, that dark finish, that stealthy look. I'm one of those stealthy looks. So this bike would be perfect for me as far as the way it looks. And I literally love the way it rides. It's really comfortable. The seating position is comfortable. The seat is very comfy, but again, to know how comfortable the seat would be, you'd have to take her on a pretty long ride, which is not gonna happen today. But as far as how I'm positioned on the seat, it's really comfortable. The way the seat scoops down, it actually kind of lets you straddle it, where you're like locked into the seat, you're locked into position, which makes it a lot more comfortable for riding, especially since this bike has more power. When you lay on the throttle, you're not going to slide off the seat or slide back too much. It's going to be right there holding you in position. So as of right now, my initial thoughts are, I love the bike. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I really love the seating position. The only thing I would do if I was to purchase this particular bike, and everyone knows how I'm a fan of loud pipes, I would probably swap the exhaust out with something that's gonna resonate or have a lot more volume to it, and it will increase the performance. Even though this does not need any type of performance increases, it has plenty of power as it is, just stock. But when you swap out an exhaust, you're gonna gain a little bit of performance as well. But I would want to hear this bike screaming when it's coming down the road. So that's the first and probably only thing I'd do to it if I ever purchased this bike, would be to swap out the exhaust and put something a little louder on here. I'll pull up in the parking lot over here, just so y'all can see her running. Take one more corner here. This bike corner is really, really good, I have to say. All right, let's pull right here so y'all can get a quick look of her running, so you can see her headlights on and everything. All right, as you can see, she looks really good. It's quiet, real stealthy sound right now because of course it has factory pipes on it. It has an LED headlight with a halo around it, which I love the look of that. And one of the things I haven't discussed yet is I love these wheels. Some people don't like the way these wheels look, but I love them. I love the solid look. It just looks real, almost like futuristic. The engine is not, it has some chrome accents on it, but it has like that brushed finish, which makes it look really good. And of course, that rear wheel is just, look at it, it just stands out. That bike has a very aggressive stance and a very unique look. And as you can see here, how I said the seat slopes down to kind of cradle you in there, so that when you're giving it gas, you're laying on the throttle, you won't slide out of that seat. So the end question is, what are my final thoughts on this bike? Would I myself personally purchase and own this bike and have it on the road and ride it frequently? And the answer would have to be yes. I would purchase this bike. I love the way it rides. The look of it, I mean, hands down, it's one of the sexier Harley-Davidsons. But if you're interested in checking this bike out, be sure to swing by Independence Harley-Davidson. We'll be glad to give you a demo ride. But it's your boy Infinite Ryda signing out. I got to put her back into the showroom. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and comment below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe, stay safe, and be blessed, people. Peace. My buddy's gonna open it for me. Aren't you sweet?
Exist at all.